Hey YouTube, Barney Black here. I've got MS and it doesn't have me. It's Wednesday. I've had a bit of a break. Karen and I were in Prague since Saturday and we got back late last night. It was a fantastic trip. Fantastic. Probably drank too much beer, but yeah, it was a great trip. And if you've not been to Prague, I would highly recommend it. Anyway, so um, MS update. A few things. I suppose my daughter, she said to me that I should do a weekly update. I'm not sure I've got enough content to justify a weekly update, but I will do what I can as often as I can. Most of you know, if you're following this, I am getting ready for the Edinburgh Marathon, which is in 6.5 weeks' time. So training's going okay. Did a 5 mile run today. I got out once when I was in Prague, which was twice less than I should have done. But you know what? When you're on holiday, you kind of appreciate the finer things in life. So the running took a bit of a back seat, and the beer came up front. So I'm going to talk about drink in a moment. The running's going okay. The pains are still whatever the pains are. I just ignore them now. A personal best. It's going to be a reach, but if you don't have something to reach for, then you'll never achieve anything. So I'll keep doing that, and I'll keep saying to myself, it's still possible. It's going to be tough, but anything that's worth achieving is never easy, is it? So MS update. I suppose I wanted to just talk about symptoms. It's not a new symptom, but it's not a symptom I've talked about in any great detail. But it's just a horrible symptom, and it's bladder function. So if you're of a squeamish disposition, turn away now, switch off. Otherwise, keep watching. So most of you probably know what it's like to need to go to the toilet and sometimes be caught a little bit short. If you could imagine that every time you need to go to the pee, you need to go to the toilet. Imagine that every single time that from the moment your bladder reaches the brain and tells you you gotta go, you've probably got about 5 minutes to get to the loo, no matter where you are. So you could be driving on the motorway, you could be out for a run 5 miles from home, you could be in a strange city like Prague and not have a clue what's the etiquette for using toilets, or have you got the right change, because in Prague all the toilets you have to pay entry for if you're not in a pub or a hotel, and you also have to have the understanding of your better half. And it's not just bursting for the loo, it's painful, it's absolutely painful. And your bladder doesn't seem to actually empty itself fully, because even once you've gone, within a half hour, you've got to go again. Now, it does coincide with drinking more fluids, but if you're going to keep hydrated, you're going to have to drink more fluids, no matter what they are. So, if you've got MS and you've had or have the bladder issues that I'm describing, you'll understand that it's not just about needing to go to the loo. You'll get caught short. I have been caught short, and I have unfortunately wet my pants, which isn't great. And it's one of those where you can be humiliated, get stressed, get worried about it, or just find a way to deal with it. If you're lucky enough and you carry a clean pair of jeans or whatever your solutions are, there's the only way to deal with it is just to deal with it. You've just got to accept that sometimes that might happen, but prepare as much as you can in advance. And I suppose the one piece of advice I would give myself, as much as anybody else, is know that you may have to go to the toilet in an instant. So don't be afraid or embarrassed if you're at work or at meetings to get up and leave the room. You're not at school, you don't have to raise your hand and ask permission, you're a grown up. Make sure that those needs and duties to you, so if you are out, that you know what, if they do ask the question, it's just one of those things. It's just you have to go to the toilet more often than most people. Your bladder doesn't seem to empty itself on that first visit. It's something that you've got to keep doing. There's the wife. So yeah, bladder control, it's a bastard, and it's probably the one thing that I get frustrated about the most. Diet. So I was thinking a lot about the diet when I was away, and I'm going to try and eat I don't think I can do it 100% solely fruit and vegetables, but I'm going to try the root and fruit diet, which I think certainly from a digestive point of view will make a massive difference. I do hear lots of benefits that people get just from how they physically feel, as long as you balance it right and have a good mixture of the darker vegetables, because that's where all the nutrients really lie, is in the darkest of fruits and the darkest of veg, as well as a good range, and mixing up the flavours so that you're not getting bored and just having bananas and apples and whatever else. So I'm going to give that a go. It should be easy enough to do in the house as well, because I'm not interfering with meals being made. It's one of those kind of raw diets, which I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how that goes. I'll let you know if I'm able to sustain it for anything more than 3 or 4 days. That along with plenty of water, although I'm loath to give up my coffee. I think that's it. I've talked about booze. I'm probably talking about booze more from a running point of view than from a multiple sclerosis point of view. The booze thing, from everything I've read, MS and booze, they're happy bedfellows, so that's a good thing. But running and booze, they're not so happy bedfellows, and that's something that I've got to bear in mind. I've only got 6.5 weeks left. I've got 2 more events with friends socially over the next couple of weeks. I've got one on Friday, Saturday night this week, looking to a quadrophenia night with the lads, so looking forward to that. That should be cool. But I need to decide if I'm going to drink or not. And then I've got a volleyball night out again, where I need to decide, am I going to have a couple of beers or just drink on the old water. I like a beer. What can I say? I enjoy a beer. It's not peer pressure. It's got nothing to do with not wanting it to be left out or what's going on. I just enjoy beer. So I need to decide how much of a social night I have for the next 2 that's coming up. But my advice would be, if you're running, don't drink. You know, don't build it into any activity. It's fine not to drink. It's fine to be on the Adam's ale and drinking the water, because it really does hamper your running. I know the next days afterwards, if I've gone out 3, 4, 5 miles, I do sweat an awful lot more. And I think that is pretty much it. So if you've got MS, know anyone with MS, and you want to share this video with them, please do. If you want to give me a thumbs up, please do. It's down there somewhere. If you want to go to my Just Giving page, again, thank you very much. If you're able to share it, that is more than enough. If you're able to make a contribution, then I am eternally grateful. And I also wanted to introduce you to a little friend of mine who I have seen this morning. I don't know if you can see this little guy, but where is it? There we are, there. Got a little ladybug on a stone. I love nature. Anyway, there you go. So, cheers. I've got MS. It doesn't have me.